All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather, TBE. This is round number 10. Now, I can go through hundreds, maybe 200 all-time greats, right, throughout the history of time. But this video would be inexhaustively long. So it wouldn't be fair to do something like that to you guys. It might take you 10 hours, 12 hours just going through all. So what I decided to do was boil down this video to what universally is recognized as the top two all-time greats. Not three, top two all-time greats. Most people recognize Sugar Ray Robinson as the pound for pound the greatest boxer that ever lived. If you watch my other video on Floyd Mayweather TBE or TBE videos, he's almost always mentioned, right? In fact, The Ring ranks him as the best boxer ever, okay? And then you have Muhammad Ali, who is the greatest of all time. So we're just going to use the very popular people who, in boxing, they're considered the best, right, at what they do. Whether or not that's true is not the point. And we're going to look at them and compare them to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, if you are a very good boxer, even if you lose a fight, you can come back and avenge your loss. And the reason you can do that is because you make the necessary adjustments to be able to win. Okay? In boxing, as you know, boxing is more a mental thing than it is a physical thing. Yes, you got to do a lot of physical work, but really, if you don't have that mental capacity to do what is necessary, especially if you lose a fight, you don't have that mental capacity to make those adjustments necessary to win that fight, then it shows a flaw in terms of your boxing skill. So what I'm going to show you guys with Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson is the fights they lost, but not in the sense of that makes them any less of a boxer, because losing a fight doesn't mean you're less of a boxer. It just means in that fight you were not capable of making the necessary adjustments to win it, right? Now, having lost it, if you get a second chance at fighting, you should be able to make the necessary adjustments and so be able to become more complete as a fighter, learn from the experience, and be able in a successive fight where that problem presents itself to be able to overcome that obstacle and problem. Now, when we look at Muhammad Ali, he lost to Joe Frazier, right? He lost to Joe Frazier when they fought for the heavyweight championship of the world, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, okay? Joe Frazier exposed that Muhammad Ali could be caught with the left hook. Okay? He'd be caught with the left hook. And that was one of the flaws in his boxing, because he didn't keep his guard to protect. He never gets his guard back in place in time to be able to protect his left side of his face, his left side of his chin. In fact, I believe in that fight, Joe Frazier knocked down Muhammad Ali. He was repeatedly catching him with the left hook. Muhammad Ali was not able to make the necessary adjustment because he usually fought with his hands down. So he was not able to make the necessary adjustment to block that punch, and that was the punch that basically Joe Frazier exploited. Of course, timing and a lot of other things. Joe Frazier didn't just walk up to Ali and just hit him with the left hook. He had to feint him, make sure that he's occupied, and you draw Ali into wanting to counter, and when he tries to counter, that's when you land your left hook, right? We call it a bait and then counter, bait and counter. And Joe Frazier was a short guy, right? Now, even Muhammad Ali admits that a fight against Rocky Marciano, he went on film and actually said this, would be a tough fight for him. He didn't know if he would win or if he would lose that fight, but he knew it would be a tough fight for him because he believed Rocky Marciano was a better boxer than Joe Frazier was. So think about that, folks. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of knowledge from history, right? You can go ahead and verify what I said. Yes, it's actually on YouTube, so you can go ahead and check it out. Now, after he lost to Joe Frazier, you would think that Muhammad Ali would be able to make the necessary adjustment in his game to be able not to be hit with that left hook. He would work on something to make sure that because the thing with Ali, his major defense in boxing was he didn't fight in the pocket. He usually fought from outside. So he was an outside fighter. Okay? And by being an outside fighter, distance is your major weapon. It's your major defensive weapon. And Ali was great at judging distances, slipping punches, swiveling away from punches and pivoting out the way of punches, right? That was the thing that made Ali beautiful. And of course, once he knew you slowed down enough, he'd crash you. Or if he catch you with a shot, on the offbeat, when you're not expecting it, you're not bracing for it, then he'd crash you after that, and that would be it, right? That's how the fight goes with Muhammad Ali. Or he'd punish you straight throughout the fight. If he didn't want to knock you out, he'd just punish you. But Joe Frazier was able to close that gap, close that distance. He was able to bob and weave inside of the jab. And therefore, when the two was coming, he would draw the two to be able to counter over the two. Okay? Which I mean is he counter over the power hand. Now, Muhammad Ali had all kinds of ways of dealing with things. He could jab, even though he flicked the jab mostly, and the jab was really a bait. He could lead off the right hand. He could pull counter you. He could hook you. He could come in with the leaping left hook. He could shorten it up, land a short left uppercut. He could mix it up. Muhammad Ali very rarely, though, went to the body. And that would have made him much more complete. But the reason is he didn't want to get countered over the top when he was going for a body shot. Even though he did use the jab to the pit a bit. But not the same way. He didn't change levels the same way like some of the modern boxers today do it. But nonetheless, he did use the jab to the pit to sort of wear the fighter down. Ali had to wear you down, but he was more headhunting than body. He did land some beautiful body shots. Don't get me wrong. He had a beautiful uppercut to the body that he would use in close. So in close fighting, he mostly clinch, try and head control, and then use those uppercuts to the body. But nonetheless, most rangy fighters, Muhammad Ali, Thomas Hearns, even Vladimir Klitschko, they use uppercuts when you're coming in on the inside. Okay. Nonetheless, my point anyway is this: that after he lost to Joe Frazier, you would think he would make the necessary adjustments so that he wouldn't be caught with leaping left hooks. Another guy who gets caught with left hooks is Amir Khan. You want to knock out Amir Khan, you got to get a left hook in on him because his defense is such that you're going to have the opportunity to hit him on the chin. You're going to have the opportunity in a fight. You saw Chris Algieri take advantage of that. Most of the times when Amir Khan got knocked out or dropped, it's because he got caught with a left hook, right? Now, most boxers, especially really offensive ones or offensive-minded ones, get caught with that left hook. But, that wasn't the first time Muhammad Ali got caught with a left hook. Muhammad Ali faced a boxer named Doug Jones. Go watch that fight. And Muhammad Ali got caught in the first round, I think it was, with a left hook. He actually got knocked into the ropes. He actually got knocked down, but it wasn't scored a knockdown because he leaned into the ropes and then he came back up. Doug Jones had him hurt in that fight. Leaping left hook again, caught him as he was trying to pivot out the way of the shot. And the point is, Muhammad Ali, that's the problem with Muhammad Ali. Sometimes he wasn't able to judge distance properly. And Muhammad Ali, he wanted a rematch with Doug Jones after he won the heavyweight championship of the world. I'm not too sure if he did actually get to face Doug Jones, but after he faced Ernie Terrell, he was really hoping to face Doug Jones again. It is what it is. Now, after Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali faced a number of other opponents who were not able to take advantage of that. Even though Bub Foster was a hell of a fight, but Bub Foster was a little too small, and he did catch him with the left hook and stuff. But then Muhammad Ali got a broken jaw because he got caught with a left hook against Ken Norton. Ken Norton wasn't the well-known guy. Muhammad Ali went to California, San Diego to be precise, fought Ken Norton. And Ken Norton was able to do two things. One, Muhammad Ali, because his guard's not up on top, he keeps his guard too wide away from his face. When he jabs, his guard actually is not protecting his face. So you can actually catch him with a straight jab. That's the first thing. The second thing is, Once you get him to try and cover up top, now his body's exposed, so you can land shots to the body. Ken Norton was stealing shots to the body as well. He was mixing up on top. And then on top of that now, when Muhammad Ali drops his hand, because he drops his hand to counter with the right. He has his hand down low to counter. You can easily counter over that counter. So you can just let him extend the right, and then you can just unfurl that left hook. And Ken Norton did that, broke Ali's jaw. Okay. Ali still hadn't been able to make that adjustment, whatever it would be, to not get caught with that left hook. You would think it's over there, but nope. So Muhammad Ali kept on winning, and then he faced Leon Spinks in 1978. And yeah, inexperienced fighter Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks was hitting him with the jab, because Ali, as I said before, he doesn't block, he doesn't catch the jab. So he gets hit in the face with the jab. And then the second thing he got caught with was the, say it with me, left hook. But on top of that, he was also getting caught with overhand rights. Ali also get caught with an overhand right when he extended his jab, because he flicked the jab out and leaned forward. So he got caught with an overhand right on top of that. So people were building off of his mistakes all the time. My point being, if he is the best boxer ever, he would have corrected those things and made adjustments. Okay, maybe he wouldn't have made an adjustment in a fight. But after you've seen your own footage and seen fights, you'd had to do something, make some kind of adjustment. Either adjustment in distance, adjustment in the angle, adjustment in your pivot, adjustment in blocking the punch, whatever. You needed to make an adjustment, right? Maybe roll under when a guy's coming with a hook, or bait the guy so you bait him to hook and then you get him. Whatever you need to do. But Muhammad Ali never made that adjustment throughout his career. This is a career flaw Muhammad Ali had. And people from that career flaw were able to pick up other flaws. And that's why Larry Holmes was able to jab Muhammad Ali to death. Okay, because he doesn't catch the jab. He doesn't have his hands in position to catch the jab. Right? Now, yeah, Ali was drained. I agree. That was his fault. It wasn't Larry Holmes' fault, But at the end of the day, Muhammad Ali had these flaws in his defense. And his defense was predicated mostly on distance control. He had to establish range. He had to establish distance. He was a very menacing boxer, don't get me wrong. He was very skilled. But we can look in retrospect and see the flaws in his game. All right? Trevor Burbank, Ali shouldn't have fought Trevor Burbank, period. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, we know, even if you lose a fight, that's not necessarily the reason why we talk about Floyd being a better boxer than Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, in his career, had flaws in his style of boxing that were exploited. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have flaws in your boxing and still be winning, right? I'm sure Floyd Mayweather has flaws in his boxing and so on. But you're not going to catch Floyd with the same problem twice. He's going to make an adjustment to it, right? And I'll demonstrate what I'm talking about in a minute. Next, we have Sugar Ray Robinson. Now, Sugar Ray Robinson, everybody knows, is the guy that inspired Pound for Pound. However, Sugar Ray Robinson, very early in his career, in his 40th fight, okay, he faced Jake LaMotta. Now, it's not like he didn't face Jake LaMotta before. Jake LaMotta's style is a swarmer style, kind of like George Foreman. What's stupidness I'm saying? Not George Foreman. Just like the guy that faced Ali, that beat him, who was the heavyweight champion of the world. Sometimes I just black out completely. I just don't remember a thing. Fraser, all right? Joe Fraser. That style is a sort of crouching style. Jake LaMotta had a little bit more. He had a better jab, and he crouched low, right? Remind me of Marcus Maidana when he was fighting Floyd Mayweather, right? Okay, so Sugar Ray Robinson had faced Jake LaMotta before. It's not the first time he faced Jake LaMotta. You can see here, here's a fight with Jake LaMotta right here, right? I'm showing you BoxRec so you can keep track of what I'm saying. Then you can go ahead and watch the fights and see what I'm saying, okay? And see if I'm making sense. Jake LaMotta in 1942 faced Sugar Ray Robinson, okay? Now, people make the excuse that Jake LaMotta was too big for Sugar Ray Robinson when they faced each other, but Sugar Ray Robinson had been facing middleweights before that. Okay, he faced Jake LaMotta at middleweight. He faced Vic Delicorti at middleweight. Okay, so don't make it sound like he didn't face middleweights before that. Okay, he had been facing some fights. He had. Well, Jake LaMotta was, I think, the second middleweight he faced. Okay, it was the second middleweight he faced. Vic Delicorti. Was the first, and Vic Delicorti was the second one. Okay, now in this fight with Jake LaMotta, he lost to Jake LaMotta, right? He was a swimmer. Do you know why? Jake LaMotta knocked him through the ropes. Okay, Jake LaMotta swarmed him, rolled under a punch of his, and was able to hit him with a right to his head, and then a left, a body shot. Okay. Now, that swarming technique is very much like what Marcus Maidana did. In fact, in the 11th round, Marcus Maidana tackled Floyd through the ropes. Do you remember that? He didn't knock him out through the ropes, but he tackled Floyd through the ropes. If you do remember, Jake LaMotta, he would bull rush Robinson, right? And again, for coming off the jab. Same thing Marcus Maidana was doing. Now, even if Sugar Ray Robinson lost that fight, right, you would think he would make the necessary adjustments to be able to deal with that style of fighting, right? And to some degree, he did. When he faced Jake LaMotta again, he beat Jake LaMotta. He outboxed him. All right, Jake LaMotta was the same weight. Sugar Ray Robinson was basically the same weight again, and he fought Jake LaMotta and was able to beat him, right? Wasn't easy, but he was able to beat him. Now, he would face Jake LaMotta a number of times, beat him. In fact, he beat Jake LaMotta really bad when he was fighting, I think, what was it called? It was that Green Day. I forgot what it called. They beat Jake LaMotta really bad, right? However, that style of fighting would continue to be seen in Sugar Ray Robinson's career, and he would face those kinds of fighters every now and then, but he wouldn't win against them all the time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So Sugar Ray Robinson did great. He was beaten by Randy Turpin. Randy Turpin's style is not Jake LaMotta's style. Okay. Then he faced Joey Maxim. Now here's the interesting thing about Joey Maxim. He was bigger than him again. All right. Usually the bigger fighters than him, I mean significantly bigger, their weight and mass and their punches now have a lot more weight for Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson, when he come into his fights against welterweights, in a welterweight fight, he was generally the bigger guy, right? Now, I'm not saying he didn't fight bigger guys at middleweight. Even before he became middleweight champion, he was fighting bigger guys. Some of them he put away because they were bums. Some of them, again, was just tough fights. He couldn't put them away. It's close matches, right? With Joey Maxim, what do you think Joey Maxim was? That's right. Joey Maxim was, again, another pressure fighter. Okay? He wasn't a swarmer per se, but Joey Maxim could work the body. So what did Joey Maxim do for 13 rounds? Work the body, baby. And then, of course, Sugar Ray Robinson slowed down, and he lost the fight. Now, in his comeback fight, he faced Ralph Jones. What was Ralph Jones? Same kind of fighter like Jake LaMotta. Same kind of fighter like Joey Maxim, except he's smaller than Sugar Ray Robinson, shorter than Sugar Ray Robinson, the same size, but he's a little slicker. He can slip and slide. He can roll and come over the top. He can dip low and come up top. He reminds us a little bit of Joe Frazier, but he was a much better fighter than Joe Frazier. Much better fighter than Joe. Ralph Tiger Jones. Go check him out. Head in your chest all through the fight. Head in Sugar Ray Robinson's chest. Beat him by unanimous decision. Now, I'm telling you guys this because it goes on. You would think Sugar Ray Robinson would make the necessary adjustments. Now, he never faced Ralph Jones after that, but let's just get it. I'm talking about people who work the body. They come to the head, but they really primarily work the body, right? LaMotta had some success. Now, we had Joey Maxim. Was a little too big for him. Ralph Jones was the same size, but he had the skills to slip and roll, kind of like Roberto Duran, slip and roll those punches. So even when Sugar Ray Robinson's trying to light him up, he's a master at slipping that jab. He can go to the outside of him or the inside of him. He go to the outside, he go to the solar plexus, right? You go to the outside of the jab, you know that left hook's coming down that solar plexus. He go to the inside of the jab, and he had to roll under that 1-2. You know he gonna take that hand and he gonna hit him with a spleen shot before he get out of there. Roll under. You know what I'm saying? Just certain things you just have to think about what I'm saying, right? Now he faces Bobo Olsen. To his credit, Bobo Olsen has a style similar to Ralph Jones and all these guys. He's more of a swarmer kind of dude, but he got a lot of skill. But then you can say, well, Bobo Olsen was kind of old then. Maybe. But at the end of the day, he did beat Bobo Olsen. And he did it twice by catching him with shots Bobo Olsen had no clue was coming, right? He faced Gene Fullmer. Again, a swarmer, right? A swarmer. Smart swarmer. Again, changes levels, moves in. He's got a unique, Gene Fullmer had a unique style. Gene Fullmer beat him. But he did make the necessary adjustments to beat Gene Fullmer in the rematch. Okay, Basilio was not a swarmer, right? Basilio was a boxer, right? And Basilio beat him. It reminded me of Randy Turpin. Randy Turpin was a boxer. Randy Turpin was kryptonite to Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson knocked him out in the second fight, but again, that knockout was beautifully set up, kind of like, but still at the same time, he was having a difficult time with Randy Turpin. You meet Carmen Basilio, was tough as hell. Carmen Basilio ekes out that split decision win. Remember, Carmen Basilio's coming up from welterweight, right? Basilio was actually the smaller dude, and he beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Think about what I'm saying now. In the rematch, Sugar Ray Robinson beats Basilio, but it's a close fight. It could have gone either way, showing that he mastered the style. He was able to make the necessary adjustments to get the win, but you know, it's still a close fight, right? It was an infighting. There was a lot of infighting. There was a lot of mid-range fighting in that fight. And remember, Carmen Basilio is the shorter dude. He's a smaller guy. He don't got the reach advantage. And still, Sugar Ray Robinson was struggling on it, right? It's all good. The point I'm making is a certain style. I don't care too much about anything else. Paul Pender beats him. Paul Pender continues to beat him. Gene Fullmer, they fight to a draw, and then Gene Fullmer beats him again. He hasn't gotten that mastery of the swarming style and a kind of boxing style where he can't really use his full power because the guys are smart enough to know how to nullify that. Now, forget about the boxing style for now. Let's just deal with the swarming style. Sugar Ray Robinson was not able, even though the same kind of problem would present itself in fights to him, he had difficulty overcoming the hurdle of that problem to the point where he just couldn't solve the equation. Gene Fullmer continued to beat him, and then all other fighters used to do was start to use the swarming technique, tie Sugar Ray Robinson up on the inside. They knew if they were about the same mass, the same weight, they need to have a little slickness in that they had to roll under certain jab punches, roll outside of the line so he don't 1-2 them, you know. You're either on the outside of Sugar Ray Robinson or you're on the inside of Sugar Ray Robinson. Don't stay mid-range with him. And basically, once you can slip and slide, roll, and come over the top, and you perfected that so that he can't knock you out or hurt you, you can invest in Sugar Ray Robinson's body. So that's what they started to do. And Sugar Ray Robinson, throughout his career, could not make the necessary adjustments to be able to deal with that style. On top of that, certain slick boxers using a certain level of slickness will give him trouble. Alright? Now, why I say this to you guys is because Sugar Ray Robinson was hailed as the perfect boxer because he had power, he had grace, he had slickness, he had the beautiful foot movement, he could bounce, he could walk to you, he could shuffle to you, shuffle to the side. He could move laterally, he could move backwards, he could move forwards, he could fight inside, he could fight outside, he could fight mid-range. So he was considered the perfect boxer. But when you put down the analysis on his career, and I always said this, Floyd would beat Sugar Ray Robinson because Sugar Ray Robinson gets hit. His defense is not that great. And when I saw a watered-down modern-day version of Sugar Ray Robinson, who's a little bit shorter and everything, in Sugar Shane Mosley, And I realized Mosley, basically the core of Mosley is Sugar Ray Robinson and how he boxes. I'm not saying he's anywhere on the level of Sugar Ray Robinson in terms of strategy, intelligence, style, changing up his style. I'm not saying that at all. But in terms of how he loops his shots, he's quicker than Sugar Ray Robinson in some respects. And he got the craftiness and everything. But I think Sugar Ray Robinson was a little bit more polished with his jab and stuff. But the antics and everything, Sugar Shane Mosley is basically that. When Sugar Shane Mosley rocked Floyd Mayweather Jr., and people forget that Sugar Shane Mosley hits like a mule, okay? When he rocked Floyd Mayweather Jr., it reminded me of what Sugar Ray Robinson would do. Because I'm telling you right now, Sugar Ray Robinson would rock Floyd Mayweather Jr. as well. But I don't think you would finish him, okay? And you don't, like certain people, you just don't you don't knock them out with one punch. You understand what I'm saying? And Sugar Ray, he would go berserk, but Floyd would just tie him up. And I'm telling you, Paul Pender tied him up. Ralph Tiger Jones tied him up. Gene Fullmer tied him up on the inside. And once you come, remember, he has long arms. And Sugar Ray Robinson don't collapse the arms. He loop punches. Like even the body shots, he had to loop it. So you tie him up, he can't loop his punches. He needs leverage. You understand? In boxing, you need leverage to land punches. Floyd Mayweather, he give you short chopping shots. Even when he's looping that big old shot from outside, he don't loop it all the way back. He always do it short chopping. Errol Spence, collapse the arms, short chopping shots, right? I'm telling you guys this because you need to understand in boxing, you gotta see what kind of style is coming to the table. No matter what people say about Sugar Ray Robinson, no matter what people say about Muhammad Ali, how they had variations of their style and they did this, and they're trying to make them sound like they are Floyd Mayweather or something. I'm not saying Sugar Ray Robinson wasn't like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is very much like Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm sure he borrowed a whole set of stuff from him. But I'm just saying that in terms of Floyd Mayweather has a particular style. No matter what. No matter if he's coming forward, going backwards, whatever, he has a particular style. Sugar Ray Robinson has a particular style. Muhammad Ali has a particular style. I'm making this point to make you guys understand what you see is exactly the style that you see. You know, there are adjustments they make in their style, or there's certain features of the style not shown, but a fighter has a particular style that they put together, right? I just say that, when you talk about Floyd Mayweather, the shoulder roll is not everything to his style. The Michigan style of defense is not everything to his style. That's the only argument I make. But of course, he has a particular style, right? And my point is, Sugar Ray Robinson's particular style has gaps, holes, flaws, problems that Sugar Ray Robinson never made that proper adjustment to. I know that from fight to fight is totally different. I understand that. But you should have made that adjustment. Sugar Ray Robinson should have made that adjustment since Jake LaMotta fight when he lost it. Because that adjustment would have allowed him to be able to win all those fights that he lost against guys with styles very much like Jake LaMotta's. And when you watch the punches he got caught with, when you watch it, the idea is Sugar Ray Robinson gets hit to the body too much. That's the bottom line. He's strong. He can take punches to the body, but he's going to lose the fight. If you keep on hitting Sugar Ray Robinson under his jabbing arm, it's going to take away his jab. Right? It's common sense. I don't care how strong he is. You can't be continually being hit to the solar plexus and continually being hit underneath your jabbing arm to your spleen, and you ain't gonna stop. You're not gonna have that power in your jab anymore. And if you don't have the power in your jab, then the guy can take advantage and counter over your jab. And once he starts to counter over your jab, even if he got a head in your chest, he gets his leverage with the short chopping shots to hit you in the head like that and work your body. Why did Sugar Ray Robinson have such a hard time, for instance, with a welterweight who came up to middleweight, right? Why did he have such a hard time with Carmen Basilio? And why Basilio beat him twice? Carmen Basilio is dedicated to working the body. He's not an inside fighter, right? He's not an inside fighter. He's mid-range like Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting. But he was committed to working inside of the body. And Carmen Basilio don't even have a long reach like Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm breaking it down for you guys to understand because, sometimes, man, I could actually break these things down. So what I'm trying to tell you is a fighter throughout his career, he didn't make the necessary adjustments to certain things in his game and he didn't have the defense. Sugar Ray Robinson keep his arms down low, right? So that's how he be able to block body punches. But every time he extend, you can catch him in between the punches, and if he's throwing that jab, he's open, and guys will slip and slide, and then you slip, slide, roll under, and rock him. It's over, baby. You understand? So it was those kinds of things. Why I say Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a little bit different to Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali. You look at Floyd Mayweather Jr., when the shoulder roll wasn't working for him with Marcos Maidana, he made a necessary adjustment. He changed it up, right? Instead of shoulder rolling, he leaned back and he rocked to the side, to his right. When Marcos Maidana was coming in, he clinched him, turned him, right? Sometimes he clinched him with one arm, Marcos Maidana would work the other, because Marcos Maidana wasn't going to be denied. Marcos Maidana was going to work. He was going to give Floyd that work. What did Floyd do? When he realized that it was a problem, what did he do? He had to change it up. So he changed it up. And he started working on the inside against Marcos Maidana to deter him, because Marcos Maidana was not going to be denied. He was going to throw as many punches as he could. So Floyd had to work Marcos Maidana's body, and also at the same time, he had to be able to lock him up, tie him up, make it a little bit more difficult for himself. And the only way he could have done that was he had to mix up, he had to start infighting with Marcos Maidana, right? And it's the same thing Sugar Ray Leonard had to resort to against Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran is a much better fighter than Marcos Maidana, much more slippery. He was not going to allow Sugar Ray Leonard to just lock him up just like that. Hell no. He had ways and means to angle himself out. Floyd would have done something else. He wouldn't have traded with Marcos Maidana, just like how he didn't trade with he wouldn't have traded with Duran. He would, just like how he didn't trade with Marcos Maidana, because what Floyd would do instead, you start to throw punches, I'm gonna shell up to the left or to my right, sorry, and I'm gonna go like what Pernell Whitaker. I'm gonna go low. So Floyd knew if he couldn't use the shoulder roll, he had to change levels on this dude so that he wouldn't get the leverage in his punches that he needed. And that's the way how you handle like a Roberto Duran or Marcos Maidana. They will try and hit you with hammer punches. You got to roll with that hammer punch, roll under the hammer punch, and then you can come up and counter, or you can keep on maintaining your defense. And you will notice two things about Floyd. Floyd started to roll both ways, and then he would roll under. You understand? Floyd had to change his game, change the way how he fights, to accommodate. That's how he got the win over Marcos Maidana. Otherwise, Marcos Maidana would have done to him the same thing he did to Adrian Broner. The other thing is Floyd has that good footwork and that pivot work that allowed him to really actually get that extra step on Marcos Maidana. He was able to get into position a little faster than Marcos Maidana could. That was the only thing. Marcos Maidana would come to you in a straight line sometimes, and Floyd would just move off that line. That's how he was able to counter Marcos Maidana a bit. You understand? So Marcos Maidana brought a couple other elements out of Floyd's game, right? And Marcos Maidana was ready to throw Floyd through the ropes if he had to. You know what I'm saying? But the point, anyway, I'm making is Sugar Ray Robinson was knocked out the ring by Jake LaMotta, right? And he fought Jake LaMotta before. Floyd in his second fight with Marcos Maidana caught him with a beautiful straight right. Should have knocked Floyd through the ropes or knocked him down flat. Floyd took it, and then he made the necessary adjustments again to beat up Marcos Maidana in the latter half of the fight, right? And I'm saying to you guys, I mean, to the fact that Marcos Maidana wanted to buy time, he bit Floyd on his arm, hand, all kinds of crazy things to make sure he didn't get his ass whooped, right? My point anyway is this. It's not Floyd's undefeated record I'm looking at. It's the fact that he's able to make those adjustments to different styles. And because he was able to make adjustment to the strategy or plan or style or the intelligence of the other boxer, he was able to prevail over them. And the difference between Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, and Floyd Mayweather is he was able to make those adjustments within the actual fight that he was facing. That's why he was able to get those wins.